All right, so today we are going over the review for the assessment that's on Friday, or again, it will be open as of tomorrow, but again, it's going to be in the grade book for Friday. It'll be open from Thursday through Sunday. I'm telling you now that the assessment will be very, very similar to this worksheet. So again, there's some stuff about angles. There's a little bit about area and perimeter. Really, the test is going to be questions 1 through 10 that are on here, except different values, and that's it. So if you can do 1 through 10 on here, you'll be good for that. I said test, I meant quiz. For the quiz that's on Friday, again, 1 through 10, same exact thing, except just different numbers. So let's go through this whole thing. Make sure you guys know how to work it. On the first one, here we have a linear pair setup. So for the linear pair, we know that a linear pair must add up to 180 because it's making a straight line. So if we take 180 degrees and subtract off the 75 that we know, that would leave us with 105 degrees, and that would be our answer. For the second one, we have 3 different angles around a single point. Around any single point, that's 360 degrees. So we're going to take 360 and subtract off the 2 angles that we know. So minus the 110, minus the 85. And if we combine those, 360 minus 110 minus 85, it's a total of 165. So that would be the angle that's remaining. Number 3, this is a triangle. All angles in a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. So we have 180 again. This time subtracting off the 2 angles that we know, so a 50-degree angle and a 45-degree angle. And if we do 180 minus 50 minus 45, that leaves us with 85. So X in this one would be 85 degrees. Number 4, we have 3 angles. Similar to the last problem, we know that all of these have to add up to 180 degrees. So this one's a little bit more algebraic, so it's requiring a little more work. We have 180 equals x plus 3x plus 4x. That's a total of 6x. Divide off 6, so 180 divided by 6 is going to give us 30 for x. Number 5, we have 3 sides. Now, if you remember your triples from geometry, so if you've taken geometry before, you've probably talked about Pythagorean triples. You could use that here, or again, you can just use Pythagorean theorem. Now, I don't think the one that I have here is drawn to scale. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. The longest side there was 10, that's my C value. The other 2 sides are going as A and B, so A squared, I'm going to do x squared plus 6 squared. 10 squared is 100. 6 squared is 36. Subtract off 36, that leaves me with 64. In order to get rid of the square, we are going to square root. So x is 8. Like I said, not drawn to scale. If I wanted to draw this to scale, I probably should have switched those 2 sides around. But again, that is our answer. Number 6, we had to find the area and perimeter of each of these shapes. So first area, we have a rectangle. Since we have a rectangle, area is going to be equal to base times height. So we're just going to do 4 times 6, which is 24. That's for our area. For the perimeter, just adding up all the sides. So that's 4, that's 6, this is 4, this is 6. So again, perimeter, just add up all the sides. So that'd be 20, and that'll be our perimeter. Now, I'm not going to ask you for units on the test. In fact, everything on the, I keep saying test, on the quiz is going to just be numerical values for answers. I'm doing it on EDSB again this time, so hoping for a little more participation. But if you did have to include units, perimeter would be in normal units, centimeters, whereas area would be in centimeters squared. Again, not going to be putting units on the test, only numerical values, and I say that for every single question. All right, number 7, we have, again, area and perimeter. So for this shape, we have a triangle. For a triangle, the area formula is 1/2 base times height. And like I said the other day, I had posted a area equation. I ended up adding it in 2 more places today. Besides the one place I had posted on Monday, I had somebody say that they couldn't find it. So I added it back into the notes, and I added it back into the assignment as well. So if you weren't able to find the area equations, they are reposted on EDSB again. But again, if you are using the sheet on the test, you'll have all the formulas that you will need. So area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. In this one, the base and height are going to be these 2 pieces because those are 2 that are perpendicular with each other. So 1/2, whoops, I put H here. That was base. This one's height. My bad. So the base is 8. The height is 4. 1/2 of 8 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. That's our area. For the perimeter on this one, all the values on the outside. So perimeter equals 6 plus 5 plus 8. Let's see. That'd be 13. 13 plus 6 is 19 for the perimeter on that one. Now, number 8, we have a parallelogram. For the parallelogram, it's still the same formula as a rectangle, base times height. So here's our base, here's our height. So again, area equals base times height. Base is 10, height is 6. 10 times 6 is 60 for our area. Perimeter, again, add up all the sides. Opposite sides in parallelogram are equal, so that's 10. This is 8. 10, 10, that's 20. 8, 8, 16. 20 and 16 is 36. Again, just adding up all the sides. If you want to see work for it, since you can use this sheet on your test, again, all we did was add them all up, and that's what gave us 36. All right. On 9 and 10, area and circumference. Again, 2 formulas that you should be familiar with. Area of a circle, pi r squared. Circumference of a circle, 2 pi r. Now, circumference can also be with the diameter. So instead of 2 pi r, 2 times the radius is the diameter. So you could also say this as diameter times pi also works. So on the first one, they give us the radius. This is our radius, it's 4. So plug it in. Area equals pi 4 squared equals 16 pi. That's an acceptable answer if we wanted terms of pi, but it says use 3.14 for pi, so we are going to round this off. And same directions on the test, use 3.14. So 16 times 3.14. Again, I'm going to show my work here. Whoops, let's write it out for 16 times. Just read that, that's messy. $16 times 3.14 gives us 50.24. That's for area. And then for circumference, circumference equals 2 pi r, which was 4. So that'd be 8 pi. If we wanted to leave in terms of pi, again, we're multiplying it out. So 8 times 3.14. 8 times 3.14 is a total of 25.12. All right, for the next one, this is our diameter. If we wanted to do just the radius will be 5. So for area equals pi r squared, so 5 squared. 5 squared is 25, so that's 25 times pi. Again, using 3.14, 25 times 3.14 is 78.5. And then circumference, 2 pi r, or this one had diameter. We could have just plugged in diameter. So we could have also just done d times pi, 6, oh, sorry, not 6, 10 pi, which again, plug in 3.14 times 3.14 equals 31.4. That'd be our answer. All right, that's really it for the test. Again, if you can do those problems up through 10, no problem on the test. That is everything that'll be on the test. There's a couple other a few harder ones to try on 11 through 11, 12, and I know the numbering on here I think is a little off, but actually no, the numbering on this is fine. I think it's on the test that it's off. So anyway, on here, 11 through 12, find the area of each figure. Use 3.14 for pi, so that's talking about number 12. Again, area of this is still a triangle. It's just a matter of knowing what the base and what the height are. Well, on this one, we don't know what the base is. We have to find it. This is going to be our height. They gave us the perimeter is 36, so we had to solve for the base first. So if we subtract these two pieces from 36, so 36 minus 18 minus 10, 36, 18 minus 10, that's 8. So now that we know that that's 8, we can plug into our area formula for a triangle, 1/2 base times height, which is 1/2 8 times 8 in this case. 8 times 8 is 64, half of that is 32. That's our answer for that one. On number 12, they gave us circumference, they want area, so we'd have to use both formulas in order to find the area on this. So we have circumference formula first, since that's what they're giving us, 2 pi r. Then we're going to use our area formula, pi r squared. So plug in the circumference, 18.84 equals 2 pi r. We have to solve. First, divide off 2. 18.84 divided by 2 gives us 9.42 equals pi times r. Again, we're dividing off pi, which we're using 3.14 for pi. So divided by 3.14, which is just 3. That's our radius. Now we can plug it into our area formula. Area equals pi 3 squared, pi times 9, again, times it by 3.14. 3.14 times 9 is 28.26. That's our answer, 28.26. So again, a little extra work on that problem. If you're currently in your geometry class, some of these area formulas, so if you have geometry this semester as well, some of these area formulas are going to help you out for the current section that you're working with as well, because you're probably doing volume and surface area and all that. So you need to know your area formulas. All right, number 16 here. I don't know why this is number 16. That was only 12. So the number on here was a little messed up. This is a composite figure. We had to find perimeter and area. This was a tricky question. So this is 4, which means this entire side over here is 4. But that whole side is 4. That means that this piece is only 2. And the other thing that we need to know, well, if that's 2, it's 2 in this direction. So if that's 13, subtract off the 2, this piece here would be 11. Again, decide not to put this on the test, but if you're taking geometry right now, this might help you with some of the problems in the current section. For area on this, again, we're doing area equals base times height. So we're doing 11 times 4, which is 44. So that's our area. Then for our, whoops, that's only that piece. We need to do the entire thing. So let me also find the area of the half circle or the semicircle. So we're going to have to do pi r squared, but then we're going to have to divide it in half. So pi r is 2. So pi 2 squared over 2. And that's going to just end up being Let's see, that's 4, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 2 pi, or 3.14 times 2 is 6.28. So add those two values together, and we get 44 plus 6.28. It's a total of 50.28. And had to add them together. And then the perimeter, well, we have our circumference for this circle, and we're not going to use this 4 for this rectangle, so you got to think about what parts you're using. So we're going to do 11, 4, this side's also 11, and then we need half the circumference. So let's do that another color off to the side. So we're going to do half the circumference, so 2 pi r divided by 2. So that means that that's canceling off. So it's just pi times the radius, which is 2, and 2 times 5. Hey, that looks familiar. It's actually the same as our area, so 6.28. Add that with the other 3 values, 11, 11, 4, and 6.28. 11 plus 11 plus 4 plus 6.28 equals 32.28. So again, that is it for this review. The things that I would focus on is making sure you know how to do 1 through 10. These last 4 are a little more challenging, but again, those will not be on the assessment for Friday. Again, it'll be open to you guys starting tomorrow. Make sure you finish this, post all the answers on Edsby, as well as post this video to YouTube. Again, make sure you have your review done, have it out while you're doing your assessment. Again, you should be able to get a pretty high score on it if you follow the same steps that we did on here.